Hey, what's up guys? MC Dead here with my last video for the year. I can't believe how quick this year's gone. Yeah, it's just amazing. The years just seem to go quicker and quicker the older I get. But yeah, look, I thought I'd just do a quick video. JB Hi-Fi's got a sale on at the moment. So I'm going to head into town. They got 30% off Blu-rays, 4Ks and DVDs. There is one movie I want to pick up, Blade on 4K. That's an absolute classic vampire movie with Wesley Snipes. And they've got that on sale, I think, for 17 bucks. But I've got a gift card for my birthday, so I'm going to use that. I've got like 10 bucks left on it because I picked something else up last week. But I did see Blade there, so I'm going to go and check if they've got that. I looked in Click and Collect and it wasn't available, but I'm just going to go in anyway. I know another really good film recently came out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD, and that's Smile. I watched about half of it the other night. It was pretty good, really interesting, but I was really tired, so I fell asleep. But yeah, really cool movie, really creepy movie, awesome effects. So I'm definitely going to add that to the collection, if not today, then another day. We'll see if Blade's available. But yeah, let's head into town and do that. And then I've got a heap of stuff to share with you. Some stuff that was gifted to me for my birthday and Christmas from Mum and Dad, and my sister, my brother. So we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, let's head into JB and see what we can find. Just having a look at this new one here, American Carnage. I haven't heard of this one. It's got Jenna Ortega from Wednesday, the new Netflix series that no one will shut the fuck up about it. I reckon it's pretty lame, but haven't seen it. Antlers was really good creature feature, different. I've got to get that at some stage. I saw it on VOD. Jordan Peele's Nope came out recently. It was okay. I wasn't blown away by it. I think he's done better stuff. It was just another alien invasion thing. Really different. It was good, but I just wasn't blown away by it like a lot of people were. Smile, this is one they're talking about being one of the best horror films this year of 2022. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I was really tired when I watched it, fell asleep, but I'm going to have to go back to it. Might have to pick it up. Have a look what else is in this section. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, classic. Not bad for $16. I don't own it. I'd like to get it, but I think I'd much rather get it on 4K and see what that looks like on that. Yeah, can't speak highly enough of classic Psycho. The Last Rite, haven't heard of that one. Looks like another one of those fucking mediocre possession things that have been done to death. There's just too many of them now. All the possession stuff. Mr. Sardonicus, is it? Looks interesting. From Cinema Cult. Haven't heard anything about that. Looks like it's an old film, black and white. But yeah, weird colour cover. I don't know. Here's another new one. The Haunting of the Tower of London. Interesting. If anyone's seen any of these sort of B grades, which I think they are, let me know in the comments below. I've been thinking about getting this for ages, but I want to get it on Blu-ray at least. I don't want to get it on DVD. So it's a great price for the pack, and I've never seen Deadly Blessing, so gonna have to keep an eye out. Just having a quick look in the R-rated section now. Cabin Fever 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. That's something new that I haven't seen around. It's obviously a new release. Who's put that one out? Via Vision. It's a Via Vision release. I like the first one. I can't remember anything about the second film. Bit of softcore porn in the R-rated section. Okay. Old school 1970s bush porn. All good. Just having a bit more of a look along here. Sorry, guys. Should be more politically correct, shouldn't I? Random Acts of Violence. It's a Shudder original. It's stayed around the same rate. I don't know why it's so dear. $25 for an indie movie sounds, yeah, a bit out of control to me. And Wicked City hasn't gone down in price. Of course, the horror classic. No manga stuff ever does. Just having a bit more of a look here. In the 4K section, Alien Covenant on 4K. Dad said they weren't great, the Alien movies on 4K. If anyone's seen the Alien stuff on 4K, let me know in the comments below what they're like. He just said they didn't transfer over well. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what anyone else thinks about that. There's not a lot of horror stuff in here. It's really just mixed stuff. Mixed things. Just having a bit more of a closer look. Halloween Kills on 4K. Well, I just bought it on Blu-ray, but yeah, I wouldn't fork out for the 4K on Halloween Kills. It was hit and miss, the reboot franchise, I've got to say. But I liked them enough to pick the first two up at least. Here it is, Blade. It's the one I've been looking for. Very interested to see what this is going to look like on 4K. I remember it being an amazing movie. Haven't seen it in quite some time, but classic. Yeah, and the first one I picked up was the 2021 movie from director Simon McQuoid. And that's of course Mortal Kombat, and it stars Lewis Tan, Jessica McNamee, Josh Lawson, Chin Han, Joe Taslim. What can I say, man? It was cheesy. Had plenty of cheesy dialogue, but so did the video games. Of course, I talked about Mortal Kombat 11 in my last video and really enjoyed that game. And I thought this had all the elements of the game. You know, the story was pretty good as well. Like, it's basically it's a new character, Joe Cole. He's an MMA fighter. And Raiden comes to see him and, you know, basically lets him know that he's got special powers and needs to unlock his abilities. And yeah, it had a pretty good cast as well. Like, not every character that you would have wanted out of the video game, but it was a pretty all-star stellar cast of characters. Like, all the favourites from the video games were in it. Of course, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were in it. And yeah, basically it was just like the good guys against the bad guys, like Shang Tsung and all that crowd of like all the demons, and you know, it had Goro in it with like the multiple arms and shit. Like, the effects were really good in this. This was all filmed in Adelaide as well, my hometown, which makes me really proud that this is a South Australian movie. Even though the actors were like spread out from all around the world. I thought it was really good for what it was, like, you know, including the lines out of the video game as well. Flawless victory and get over here and all of that, and fatality. It really kept the spirit of the original movie. McQuoid signed on to do the next one as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do with the next movie. I know that they've spent a hell of a lot more time on the script. They're trying to go a lot more in depth, and he was basically saying, you know, we learned what we learned from the first one, and we're gonna take what the fans loved about the first film and improve on what they didn't love in the second one. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next Mortal Kombat. And yeah, this looks absolutely amazing on 4K. The sound was awesome. The visuals were awesome, great effects in it. Yeah, it was done with a lot of CGI, and again, at least they used local talent with that as well. Like, it was a local studio that did all the effects in this as well. But excellent movie, I highly recommend it. It's also got some awesome special features here on this one. Deleted scenes from game to screen, the making of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat fan favourite characters plus 11 featurettes. I'd be really interested to see that. Fight choreography, Into the Crypt Easter eggs of Mortal Kombat, so it'll be all like the hidden stuff in the movie. That'll be interesting. And Anatomy of a Scene featurettes. And this next one's from Sony, the all-time classic from 1984. And it's the 4K Ghostbusters starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis. Absolute classic movie. I'm sure you've all seen it. If you haven't, you really need to see it. It looks absolutely fucking incredible on 4K. I've seen this movie so many times. Yeah, it was a staple growing up as a kid. Came out, you know, as I said, in 1984, and I remember going and seeing it in the theatre actually, down at the Bay. And yeah, you know the story. It's like three college professors get together. They get kicked out of university and that because they're all fucking misfits and unruly and clowns, really. And it's quite funny. It's a horror comedy, as you know. And yeah, basically they're paranormal psychologists and they go out and start their own business hunting ghosts. And then it really just goes from there. Gets crazier and crazier as it goes along. Absolutely amazing effects. And who was it directed by again? I can't remember. Ivan Reitman, that's right. Yeah, he was a friend. I think he wrote the script with Harold Ramis. That was Egon in the movie. But yeah, absolutely amazing special effects. Cool soundtrack as well. This has got some good features on it. Who Are You Gonna Call? A Ghostbusters retrospective. Ghostbusters music video by Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters poster gallery and more. Yeah, can't speak highly enough of it, and it looks amazing on 4K. This one's from Roadshow, and it's their release of the 1998 movie Blade, directed by Stephen Norrington. And of course it stars the good old Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson and Stephen Dorff. Absolutely awesome late 90s vampire movie, basically based on the Marvel character Blade. And he's a half human, half vampire killer. He's, you know, his mother's bitten during birth with him. He's born with a vampire gene in his blood, and he's got to have like this serum to stop him becoming a full vampire. And he's got basically, yeah, he's like a one-man vigilante going up against the vampire race. And Stephen Dorff's character in this is wanting to bring about end of times and all humanity, which I thought was a bit weird, because if you turn everyone into fucking vampires, what humans are going to be left for you to drink blood from? Because you need to drink blood to survive, right? Like, are they going to live off animals and shit? I don't know. I thought that was a bit weird. I thought about that years later after watching this the other night, and I thought that's a bit of a hole in the plot there, that like they're going to turn the whole world into vampires, but yet if there's no humans left, how do you survive? So I thought that was pretty interesting. I had never thought of that factor, but for some reason the other night it came to me as just a philosophical moment, or whatever you want to call it. I was just like, yeah, bit weird, bit of a hole in the plot. But anyway, absolutely awesome effects in this movie. Really great dialogue, really well written as well. Had a great cast, awesome music. It's sort of like predated The Matrix. I think Matrix came around the same time, but you know, fantastic fight scenes and choreography in this. There's a number of special features on it. Audio commentary by cast and crew. Lamagra designing Blade, the origins of Blade, a look at Dark Comics, the Blood Tide and theatrical trailer on this one. It's an absolute classic. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. The sequels weren't so great, but this is an absolute gem. Speaking of gems, it's this one here from Madman. It's a local release, distributed. I'm not sure whether or not the print has been used from Anchor Bay. Sorry, not Anchor Bay, Arrow Video. I need to look into that, because it is the 20th anniversary edition of Donnie Darko from 2001, so it came out the year before last. Of course, we're into 2023 now. Directed by Richard Kelly. Absolute all-star cast in this. Jake Gyllenhaal, his sister Maggie's in it. Patrick Swayze's in it, Drew Barrymore's in it, a ton of other people. I won't go into all of it. It's a 3-disc set. I'll just give you a look at the discs. It comes with the theatrical cut, director's cut, and there's an extra disc of bonus features. I'm pretty sure they're the bonus features from the original DVD, but because I had a quick look at them, I haven't watched them all yet, but yeah, it looked like old school DVD quality, and it says weirdly at the top, 2 Blu-rays and a DVD, but it's actually 3 Blu-rays. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Maybe it's something to do with the packaging, but yeah, 4K restoration on both cuts of the movie. Absolutely amazing movie, such a strange movie. Anybody that's ever seen this will know what I'm talking about. It's so surreal. It's basically about a kid, like a high school kid, Donnie Darko, and he's got mental illness. You can see that in the movie. You know, he's seeing a psychologist and all of that, and he's getting plagued by these visions of a large bunny rabbit in a suit. And you know, at the start of the movie, a plane crashes into their house, and he gets away. He's not end up killed by the plane, because the plane flies into his bedroom, and he's not killed. But then it does this whole time travel thing throughout the movie. It's really, really hard to explain. Like, I've seen this so many times, and I reckon I could see it another 100 times, and I'd just pick up more and more of it as I went along. But the director's cut certainly added to the movie. Like, director's cuts don't always add to the film, but this one certainly did. It gave you another way of looking at the movie. An absolutely unbelievable, awesome soundtrack as well in this. Like, total 80s soundtrack set in 1988. And yeah, I just think they did an amazing job on it. And you got to watch this at night. Like, it's a late night movie. You can't watch it in the daytime. The print's quite dark on this. I don't know whether that's to do with the 4K thing, or whether I don't remember it being so dark, pardon the pun. But it was a really dark movie, and I watched it at night and loved it. I was just taken back. I hadn't seen it in probably a decade, but if you haven't seen Donnie Darko, you definitely got to check it out. And if you can, get the 4K, because it just looks absolutely amazing. Probably one of the coolest, most original movies I've seen this year. In fact, it would be. It'd be my #1 pick for the coolest, most original films I've seen this year. 30 years in the making, Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett is a creature effects guy that goes way back. He's worked on RoboCop, he worked on all the original Star Wars films. He's worked on Jurassic Park. The list goes on and on and on. Such a strange movie. It's only just got the one actor in it, Alex Cox. This is from Shudder, by the way, the streaming service Shudder. They've put this release out, but it was really such a bizarre movie. Like, it reminded me of Guillermo del Toro's stuff. He does a commentary in this as well, Guillermo. I'm not sure the deal behind that. Maybe he put a bit of money towards the movie. I'm not sure, but it's definitely in that field, like Guillermo del Toro style movie, Mad God. Yeah, so strange, and one of those ones again that my work's cut out for me because it's so hard to explain. But it's basically like this character with like it looks like it's the end of the world's happened. He's wearing like a suit, like protection against radiation, all that kind of stuff, and like he descends into this hell. And this is what I got from it. I think it's a descent into hell and then redemption after that. Incredible creatures in this. It's a real gory stop motion animation as well, which you just don't see much anymore. Like, it's a real product of the 1980s and earlier. Goes way back to the 1950s and beforehand, with like Ray Harryhausen, all the work he did with Clash of the Titans and Sinbad and all that stop motion animation and puppets, and it just looks fucking incredible. There's a whole lot of stuff on here as well, so you can delve further into it. commentary with Phil Tippett and Guillermo del Toro. And yeah, I'm sure that del Toro will talk about his relation to the film, if any. Cast and crew commentary, interview with Mad God writer-director Phil Tippett, which was really interesting. I watched that. Mad God influences and inspirations. Maya Tippett's The Making of Mad God. Maya Tippett's Worse Than the Demon. I'm pretty sure that's his wife. Academy of Art University and Mad God behind the scenes montage, behind the scenes photo gallery on this one. You want something really original late at night when you've had a big day and you just want to unwind and see something really fucking crazy? Check out Mad God. Awesome. This is from Studio Canal, from their Classics Remastered series. It's the 1973 movie Don't Look Now, directed by Nicholas Roeg, and it stars Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie. I absolutely love Donald Sutherland's movies, especially Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's my favourite of all time. This is a real slow burn thriller horror movie, supernatural as well. It's about a couple that moved to the UK. Donald Sutherland's character's doing up a church, renovating it. His wife's with him, and they've lost their daughter. Their daughter's drowned. And so they're doing their best they can to pick up the pieces with their life, getting past it and getting on with their life. But all of a sudden, Donald Sutherland's character, John, starts seeing visions of his daughter in the same dress that she drowned in. And it just goes from there. I can't say anything else because I'll ruin the entire movie for you. It's a real slow burn thriller movie. Awesome scenery, all shot in Italy. Looks incredible. They've done a great job remastering it. It's a 4K remaster, but not the 4K. If you get what I'm saying. I've talked about that in the past. It's a 4K print. It's not a 4K disc. Plenty of stuff on it. There's a Past the Warning reflecting on Nick Rhodes' masterpiece. Kaleidoscope of Meaning, colour in Don't Look Now. New 4K restoration featurette, audio commentary with Nick Roeg. Death in Venice interview with Pino Donaggio. Interview with Donald Sutherland. Interview with Alan Scott, Tony Richmond, Danny Boyle. Don't Look Now, looking back behind the scenes stills gallery. If you want an old school 1970s killer thriller, this is the one. Of course, if you want a really cool local director again, it's Lee Wannell. And we know Lee Wannell's responsible for the Saw franchise, the Insidious stuff. He's done a whole lot of really cool stuff, including, what's the name of that movie I saw recently? Upgrade. That was an awesome sci-fi horror piece that he did, Upgrade. And this stars Elizabeth Moss. It's from Universal. 2020, I think this came out. It's the classic story, The Invisible Man. It's a reboot. It's about a woman, Elizabeth Moss's character, leaving a sociopathic narcissist. She's in an unhappy marriage. He treats her like shit. She leaves him. And it turns out this guy develops a suit that makes him become invisible, and he comes after her and he just causes absolute chaos throughout the movie. I won't tell you any more about it because it's just a real cool slow burn. I thought it probably could have been about half an hour shorter than what it was, but really good movie, really well written. The script was really good, the tension was really good, it built in this, and I just love Elizabeth Moss's work. I think she does a great job. It's got a number of things on it: deleted scenes, Moss manifested, should I say, director's journey with Lee Wannell, the players, timeless terror, and there's a feature commentary with writer-director Lee Wannell as well on this. So you can't speak highly enough of him, and I can't speak highly enough of this movie. Something really different that I haven't reviewed before, and this is from a company called Eureka over in the UK, and it's a 1924 German expressionist silent movie called The Hands of Orlak. It's directed by Robert Wine, and it stars Conrad Veidt, Alexandra Farina, and Fritz Strasny. What an awesome movie this was. You know, really good to see something different that I hadn't seen before. Dad picked this up for me for Christmas, and I'd never seen a German expressionist film, a horror film like this. and certainly hadn't seen a horror silent film in a long time. And I really enjoyed it. Pretty simple story. It's about a concert pianist whose hands are amputated following a horrific accident with a train. And when he gets his hands put back on, they're not his hands. They perform surgery and they put the hands of a convicted murderer onto his body. And then it goes from there. I can't tell you any more about it without spoiling it. But it was really fantastic to see something different with this. Something that I hadn't seen before. That went on to influence so many things that have come later with this. You've really got to see it for yourself to explain it. They've done an incredible job on this. It's a 1080p presentation on Blu-ray from a restoration of the original film elements. That was all done in Austria. LPCM 2.0 score by Johannes Kalitzky. It's got the original German language intertitles with optional English subtitles, because it's all in German, of course. Feature-length audio commentary with author Stephen Jones and author-critic Kim Newman. Extremities video essay by filmmakers David Cairns and Fiona Watson. Alternate presentation in SD. And on and on and on it goes. It's got a huge collector's booklet with this as well, which is inside, featuring new essays by Philip Kemp and Tim Lucas. So if you've never seen German Expressionist cinema, this is a good place to start. He did this one 4 years later, and this is Das Kabinett des Dr. Caligari in German, otherwise known as The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And I haven't watched this yet, but I'm going to put it on tonight. I just haven't got around to it because I've had so much stuff to get through for this video. But it just basically says at a local carnival in a small German town, hypnotist Dr. Caligari presents the somnambulist Césaire, who can purportedly predict the future of curious fairgoers. But at night, the doctor wakes Césaire from his sleep to enact his evil bidding. I've seen footage of this movie. It's an absolute classic. Again, it's German Expressionist horror. I know from film studies I've done at uni and films I've, just the history of cinema that I know, it's influenced a whole heap of stuff. What springs to mind from what I've seen with the stills and bits and pieces that I have seen of it is it reminds me, the most modern thing it would remind me of is Hellraiser. That hellish sort of stark, contrasted architecture and all the buildings, the way they're designed. It looks incredible. So I'm really looking forward to putting this on tonight. Again, it's a 1080p transfer from Eureka. There's heaps of stuff on it. New and exclusive feature-length audio commentary by scholar and historian David Kalat. It's got the 44-page booklet, the same as the other one. Caligari, The Birth of Horror in the First World War. You Must Become Caligari, a new and exclusive video essay on the feature by filmmaker and critic David Cairns, and on and on. So a heap of stuff on this. If you're into classic German Expressionist horror films, and even if you're not, you should at least take a look because it's very interesting. It'll change your view on cinema in general, but definitely check out The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And that's the last one I want to let you guys know about, that it's available. I've talked about it in previous videos, so I won't go into it, but it's the 4K version of The Thing from 2021. So yeah, lucky enough to get that for my birthday from the old man. So I had a look at it. Looks absolutely amazing. Looks incredible. I don't know how much further they can go with the technology, but yeah, this is absolutely crystal clear. If you're a Thing fan, the way I am, it's one of my favourite films ever, you know that. Then this is the way to go, get it on 4K. Okay guys, well that brings this video to a close, and the year to a close actually, because it's now the 1st of January. Took me a couple of days to get through all that material, but I just want to say thanks very much for the support this year. I think the channel's come a long way this year. getting close to 50 subscribers now, which is really cool. It's a small thing. I know it'll take time. I'm hoping to just get more and more people on board as I go, especially now with my Instagram account as well. I'm getting people subscribed that I would have thought they'd subscribe just through promoting it on that channel as well. So that's been really good. All the info I'll have down below in the comments section of the video if you want to pick up any of the releases I've reviewed today. And yeah, I want to give a special shout out to my family as well. You know, they've really supported my channel, and all of the stuff that I reviewed today was gifts from my birthday and Christmas. So they're really supporting my channel, and I couldn't do it without them. I really appreciate it and love them very much. And yeah, I've got to thank you as well for watching my stuff. And yeah, here's to 2023. I hope you have a really good year. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I'd really appreciate it if you did. I'll keep doing videos moving forward. 2023 is going to be a pretty big year for this channel. I want to try some really different things. Maybe look at some areas that I haven't looked before. But thanks for being on board with me. I wish you all the best. Good luck, peace and prosperity to your families, and take care of yourselves. Cheers. Bye.